So we had a lot of good red zone opportunities last tournament, but we failed to convert on a lot of them, and I wanted to talk about what we can do better. The first thing I want everyone to understand is that in our end zone set, it doesn't matter if you're open if the handler isn't prepared to throw the disc. What that can kind of be made into a rule is that you should only cut when you're looked at. So only cut when looked at. I'll start with a good example here where Royce and Nathan are making eye contact, and therefore when Nathan gets open on his cut, Royce is prepared to throw it. Great. What I want to address as well, this might be a vestige from last year's offense, but Hugh is going to naturally want to go to a strike position. I don't think we should do this. Instead, I think Hugh should just do less and stay right here. We know that because of this end zone, Royce has to auto strike off of a shovel. That would leave Hugh right here, still in a strong position to go either way for Nathan. Going forward, Nathan does a good job at looking and activating, and our cutters are doing a good job. I love this look here, very definite with Hugh, and Hugh gets open here. But similar thing, I would rather Nathan stay back here. Instead, he goes up to a strike position, and we can see how this causes problems later. So look how cramped this is. If he wants to throw a backhand, he can't throw a backhand. He can only throw a backhand to Nathan back here. Otherwise, Royce does a good job at reading this throw to Hugh. See Royce pull him and then go attack. It's okay if he gets guarded, that's fine. We can see Nathan cut without being looked at, and we see how this throw is a little bit tight and difficult. As soon as Nathan catches this, Hugh jumps the gun and cuts this way. I think it's okay if Hugh wants to do this, but he needs to wait until Nathan is ready to throw the throw. You'll watch here, he's open, but Nathan is not ready to throw this throw yet. And so instead what happens is that this mark went flying by. If Hugh would have stayed and done less, Nathan could have just stepped out, maybe threw a backhand to Royce, or at least put Royce into play where he can make moves. But we are kind of clogging for ourselves because of overactivity. What I would rather have Hugh do is if he hits this, just wait. Wait back. Notice how we'll always have one person back there. Once again, good looks by our cutters. And we're being conservative with the disc. That's okay. But notice how we don't have anyone back here. And so we have to do a rescue, a hero move with a reverse booty. I hate reverse booties. I think you just end up on the four-side best case. It's an awkward throw. It's unexpected. Not really in our system. Instead, I would rather Royce come down for another shovel. So the main takeaways from those are cut when looked at, and we always want one person back at the four-side 45. I already have this Ring of Fire film for you guys, or this pony film for you guys to see how long it takes them to activate. Like, look how patient they are. Notice how this guy's making eye contact, and none of the other players are moving. Similar here, we'll swing it. And then look how long this eye contact is made. And then look at all the other players. They're just waiting. So we'll go back. Stalling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how patient we can be with this, because this person has to guard here, here, and here. And we can take our time. Once again, we're mainly focused on getting the disc. And then once this disc is caught, then the two other players in the offense will make their moves. Clear eye contact. There we go. Poach comes down over the top. The next part of this video is going to be the bigger themes of our end zone, which are we are setting up dilemmas for our opponent. The dilemma that they will have to choose from is either 1, they get scored on, or 2, they compromise their defense. And we just play that game over and over. Do you want to get scored on, or do you want to further compromise your defense? The biggest example of this I can think about, the clearest example, is this little square right here. If we are able to dig, if we are able to swim move, or we are able to 7 into this little square, we will win. And therefore, defense has to do everything they can to stop this. So we'll watch right here. PJ gets it, activates Sam. We see this swim move, which is really hard to guard. And then this mark must cheat inside to stop a score. If they don't, and they choose the first half of the dilemma, then they get scored on. Once again, full speed. Here's the first half of the dilemma. The second half of the dilemma is them compromising their position. So now we'll notice we're on the front cone. This space is now taken away by the mark, but PJ is still going to cut there. We'll notice I want you guys to get really good at recognizing kind of this mirrored stance. This mirrored stance is break city. You guys need to instantly go for break here. And I want Trevor and Jake to be on top of this. So when you see this picture, you should already know PJ up, Jake step out and throw. Right there, he had a window, and he still has a window. So I want us to become more comfortable with that. Understand that the dilemma is that if they take away the score, then they'll compromise their position and allow us to center for free. Here's what that looks like when it goes off. Once again, we recognize a mirrored position where your pivot foot is on their nearest foot, and you can just step around and throw it. Now, what is this compromised position? Well, this person has to go all the way over here to seal. This person's out of position, and Trevor's couldn't get a free disc. So let's say they seal, that's fine and all, but now Sam is open, PJ's open, this guy's out of position. We could give and go, and then they would have to roll. We choose to hit Sam instead, that's fine. And then, once again, Sam does a good job, shovel, and he must strike. And then the mark would have to go all the way over here to stop this throw, but they don't, and so they get scored on. Here is a very painfully clear example of Pony using this dilemma of either you get scored on in this box or I swing and center. Where number 34 will literally just run up and dance in front, pull the mark, pull so many defenders. And I want you guys to look at this nearest person here, the one in the stack. He's looking and just waiting for that mark to move. That's all they want. The handler does a great job at selling it too, with a step out and a flick. And then you'll notice, small detail, he's in a backhand grip, fakes it, and then we can center. And from there, we're just in our normal offense. So the dilemma between getting scored on or getting the disc centered. And then when we're centered, we're in our normal end zone.